my gorgeous soul tribe. Welcome in another episode of Bring the Magic Live. My name is Nanda, and I am the founder and creator of Ananda Soul Travel and this beautiful Bring the Magic tribe. We have been doing these Bring the Magic sessions for over a month now, and I'm super happy to be continuing this journey with you. And I'm also getting a lot more feeling with the questions that are out there, because I am here to help you bring more of your magic out into the world and truly align with your soul and soul purpose. And what I'm getting from you is that some of you have questions about, when is that intuition that I feel really coming from my soul? And when is it just something that my mind made up that is probably the right choice in some way? So to distinguish that inner guidance from all of the chatter that we have in our minds, that is what I want to dedicate my time and energy on today. And I hope you will get a lot of value out of this. I am super pumped about this subject because I have some great examples to share with you where, it was pretty clear to me that the answers that I got were not coming from me, but really coming from higher guidance and directly coming from source. So let us start by just owning up to, yes, everybody has an inner guidance system. It's called our intuition, and being more and more in tune with your intuition is going to help you to clarify also when you get messages from your spiritual guides, and it's only going to help you. But first of all, I want to share with you and tell you that everybody has intuition. Everybody is guided always and everywhere. You are no exception. It's not like if you don't hear anything, then that means that you're not guided. No, you can receive your spiritual guidance through signs and signals, through feelings, through people, and through messages. But it doesn't have to be those clear-cut messages that are just like over voices in your head. So don't worry about that, and let us just dive into that topic. Because I know a lot of you probably had those experiences where your intuition told you like, oh, let's call my mom or let's call that friend. And it was exactly the moment when they needed to hear your voice, or that you could be of service to them or could help them in that special moment. And maybe you even use your intuition when it comes to reading books or buying certain things. If you are really in tune with your soul and with your soul guidance, probably you will check up on like an intuitive buying impulse. You will check up on how that feels to you on a deep level in your heart. And when it really makes you happy, you really feel like, okay, yes, this is a deep yes for me, then you make a decision. So yeah, like I said, intuition is always guiding you. And in those topics of calling someone, buying something, or reading a book, it isn't that scary to follow up on the guidance, is it? The moment when it gets scary is when the inner guidance is going to tell you things like, okay, you need to get out of this relationship. You need to quit your job. You need to move to the other side of the country or even the other side of the continent. Or other big and sometimes scary investments that you really feel a deep yes for, but your mind is like struggling to integrate into reality. So getting to that point to really, really trust your soul guidance and also being able to make those big decisions, that takes a little practice. So let's practice together. And we can do that by me sharing some of my experiences and you tuning into your own situation and where this applies to you. So when I was working in, how do you say this, like a children's nursery, I was working after finishing university. I was working there, and one summer I just felt it like, okay, this is the last summer. And so I filed for quitting my job, and people were starting to ask me, oh, what are you going to do now then? And I had absolutely no idea. I just knew that I had to go. And that was the first time when I truly surrendered and gave into that deep feeling and trust, saying like, you need to go. And it it paid off really well, because within 5 weeks, I manifested a great job where I learned a ton of things. And that was really in alignment with the expansion desire that I had, because I had been working for 4 years in the same place, and it was fun, it was nice, but I knew that there was other side of me that wasn't getting to full development. So yeah, it was super great to follow that guidance, and people weren't really understanding because I didn't have that plan B yet. I just knew that plan A wasn't working for me anymore. So that was in some people's minds, this was a really courageous decision. Some called it stupid because you don't have anything. When you have like 2 or 3 months without a job, what will you do? And I said, it will be fine. I know this is the end for me. So I ended that summer with a big smile on my face, and walking away with like, yes, I know that this is the best decision. That is the first sign when you are facing a big decision, like visioning yourself making the decision and then feeling how that decision will make you feel. If it becomes lighter, if it becomes like happier, joyful, more love, more expansion, then you know that this is the right choice for you. If it makes you like super uncomfortable and it can be a sign that it's not the right choice, but move through that by visualizing making the decision. So when you are on that crossroads, like going left, going right, or standing in the middle, just visualize yourself for a moment, choosing that left path, choosing the unbeaten path, and you have no idea where that will end up, and feel whether or not that is making you feel lighter, making you feel more joyful, creating space inside of yourself, creating more peace inside of your heart, then you know that will be the right decision for you. And also compare it with not making any choices and choosing the safe way. Is that the same? I don't know. Well, let's not confuse ourselves with left and right, because we are talking to each other and you see me in left on this side, so that's like not your left. Okay. Another moment when in my timeline, in my experience, where people were advising me to choose the safe road, the road that was already clear cut in front of me. And when I decided to choose to follow my inner guidance was when I was recovering from a burnout. So I got out of that job, but it just depleted me completely. And I was really needed some stability in my life. And instead of finding stability in making life simple and just staying in one place, I decided to go to Peru. That was in 2012. I decided with the little money that I saved to invest that in going on a beautiful journey of 2 months, going into Peru and learning Spanish, doing some volunteer work and being of service to others. That is what I felt inspired to do. And so that is what I chose. And although a lot of people around me were saying like, oh, but you're not feeling well, shouldn't you be doing that? Should you be traveling? If something happens to you, where will you go? And all of that. And it didn't matter, because I knew that I was being guided. And it felt so light and so joyful and so adventurous to go to Peru. And so I went, and it went great. It was the greatest experience of my life. My soul got really a homecoming party there. I really got reconnected to my soul tribe, reconnected to my roots on a spiritual level. So it was really the best decision I could ever make. And I didn't make that from my head. I really made that choice again with my heart. So I want you to trust your inner guidance, and that trust is earned. That trust can grow, and you can start to build that trust with the small things. So learning to follow your intuition and really saying, yes, I trust it. The more you say, yes, I trust it, the greater the guidance will get and the clearer your messages. So whether or not you are deciding to change jobs or maybe move to another city, follow that inner guidance, because on a deep, deep soul level, you are being guided always. Well, the third example that I have for you is right now. We have just came out of a pandemic. Everybody was playing it safe, and everybody was staying put or creating something around the house. And in that same period, we decided to move to Spain and just start a whole new life. And that was, for some people, a lot of challenges and very courageous. And for us, it was just the right thing to do because as well as for my partner, as for me, the guidance had been so loud. It started in 2017 when I was just coming out of a job and I had like 2 months in front of me. I didn't know what was my next step. So that was my next question. I meditated and asked to the universe, okay, where do I go next? I really want to live my purpose. I want to be of service to as many people as possible. Where do I go? What do I do? And then there came a really loud voice telling me, you have to walk El Camino, Nanda. And I had never heard of El Camino. Nobody in my direct surroundings has ever walked El Camino in Spain. And I was just like shocked. I was like, where did that come from? And that is another sign that spiritual guidance sometimes comes out of nowhere. You just say like sometimes you can like conjure up your own like timeline and say like the logical choice will be this. But when you get guidance that is just like comes out of nowhere and it's not attached to anything of your prior experiences or researches that you've been doing, yeah, that amazement, that is a miracle. And that is like 1000% that is coming from soul, that is coming from source. There's no doubt about that. And especially when it is such an enriching experience as El Camino, it really helped me to ground more. It really helped me to anchor in my dreams more into the physical. And when I ended up here in Finisterre, I knew this is a place where a spiritual center will finally get a physical form. So following your inner guidance is what this journey is all about. And you will know how to trust your inner guidance more and more. You can start with just actively asking for guidance. So this is what I did when I was working at the job prior to my burnout. I would just drive home and ask my inner guidance, do I take the freeway or do I take the secondary roads to avoid traffic? And like 9 out of 10, or I don't know, I think 99 out of 99 out of 100 times, it guided me the right way. I never got into a traffic jam, although like on that time and in that place, always traffic jams. And I never got into one. because I daily ask my spiritual guidance to send me, the right way. And sometimes that meant the highway, and sometimes that meant the secondary roads. And even in the secondary roads, there were 3 different options. So it was really constantly asking my spiritual guidance and trusting the intuition and going, that really helped me to build that muscle, that really helped me to see like, oh, wow, it really works. Because when you say yes to your intuition more and more and more, like I said, you will be guided more clearly. You can also ask for clear signs. If there's something specific that you are manifesting or that you are working towards, then I want you to start playing around with signs, like real, physical, tangible signs. And that can be finding money on the streets, or seeing double digits on the clock, or maybe you want to manifest more rainbows or butterflies or sunflowers or an animal that you like. Whatever you are asking from the universe, know that you are building a muscle with your spiritual guidance. So don't go from one to the other and say like, oh, this isn't working, but stick with it. Stick with it for 1 month, 2 months, and then see how many times your sign pops up, and also celebrate those moments. I want to share one more thing with you, and that is about the sign that I asked for the past, in the past 2-3 months. I've been asking for a sign for physical money showing up. And the first time that physical money showed up, it was only 2 cents. I don't know, like, the European cents here in Spain, they still use the 2 cents. And I found it on the street, and I immediately recognized it as a sign. So I celebrated. I celebrated with all that I had. I was like, yeah, this is my sign. This is what I asked for. This is so amazing, so great. And that is what I want you to experience as well. Whenever you feel that guidance is giving you exactly what you've been asking for, celebrate those moments, because then it can only get bigger and bigger and bigger. Because what happened in the past 2 months, I found 40 cents. A few days later, a week later, I found 2 euros. And the last invoice I sent was exactly 1,122 euros and 22 cents. Can you believe it? Like, all of those signs just coming my way, making sure that I trust completely in the journey. That is what I have to share with you today. Trusting your journey, co-creating with your spiritual guidance, and playing around with your answers. So feel out what taking decision A or decision B, play out those scenes and see how they make you feel, and actively ask for guidance and signs and signals that you just know that you are being guided. It has been like over 5 years when I met one of my friends here in Spain, and I was telling her that whenever I was on my Camino, I felt like, oh, I'm super guided when I see white feathers on the street. And then since then, every time that she sees a white feather, she's thinking of me. And this is great, right? So this is the kind of relationship that I want you to build with your spiritual guides, because they are eager to show you the way to your most fulfilling and most magical life. I love you. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Bring the Magic Live. There's more coming up next Wednesday. And if there's anything I can do for you to clarify your soul path, please make sure that you book a Soul Path Clarity session. They are 50% off right now in the summer. So take advantage of this, and I hope to see you soon. Love you.